So I intentionally held off on ordering the metal posts on this 48-foot tall multi-generational passive ICF house that I'm DIY building, mainly because I am DIY building it. So on the other levels, we knew how tall we wanted our different ceiling heights to be, but when it came to the third floor, it was kind of a question mark. So let me show you some of the things that played into that question mark. So one of the things that I'm dealing with is my city only allows us to go a total of 35 feet above grade. So above that sidewalk that's down there. So the measurements from the sidewalk using a laser to this point on the window is 25 feet 2 inches. If I would have stacked another ICF block on top of that one up there, that would have been 35 feet 2 inches. I probably could have gotten away with it, but it's best not to play with fire. And so instead, it's actually only going to be, the ICF block will just be 7 inches. And then 7 inches above this foam right there. And then on top of that, I've got my 5.5 inch foam panels that I've mentioned in other videos that will sit on top of the ICF block over there. And then underneath and inside, I'll have 3 inches of foam. And then I'll have the 12-inch I-joists, TJIs. And then they will be sitting on top of the beam. And then because we also changed the slope, we were gonna go with the 1.5 12 pitch, but once I actually saw it up here, that was just too steep. So changed our minds, decided to drop it down, have it be more of a flat roof. And so we're going with a 1/2 inch per foot, which as long as you mechanically seam a standing seam metal roof, then you're just fine. Technically, you can go all the way down to 1/4 inch, but that's playing with fire. So sticking with 1/2 inch. So I've created a mock-up because once again, this is DIY. So it's really easy to shim. Especially with the Simpson caps that I'm using, it's easy to put in some extra wood to shim things up, but once you buy your steel posts, it's expensive and it's hard to, well, I should say it's a pain. It's a pain to cut them. So here's the mock-up that I did. I brought my 7-inch piece over, put it up top. I know that with the slope, I'm 8.5 inches down from that. So you see up there, I marked the top of the ICF. And then I've got 3 inches of foam that I'll then put below the top of the ICF inside the walls. So it'll be kind of like a Yeti cooler lid. And then that's where the I-joist starts. That's 11 and 7/8, so let's just call it 12 inches. And then the 15-inch glue lam beam, so it's 5.5 inches wide, 15 inches tall. So I've drawn that, mocked that up. And then underneath that is the steel posts. So I measured from the bottom of that beam to the top of this beam. And the measurement was actually 9 feet, or 10 feet, 10 feet and 1/2 inch. But going back to this whole DIY thing, I'm confident, but I really have got to have my 3 inches of foam sit down inside of these blocks for this whole lid system to work, and also for the 5.5 inches of foam to sit snugly on top of my ICF walls. And so what I've done in this math that you see, so 8.5 inches down, 3 inches of foam, 12 inch for the I-joist, 15 inch for the beam, and then I threw in this other one, 1.5 inches. So subtracted another 1.5 inches to come up with 40 inches from the top that I need to go down. The reason for that 1.5 inches is that's what I'll be able to use to shim up in case my math was not correct, or in case my measurements were not correct. So I just called up Metal Mart and ordered 5 of the 4-inch by 4-inch posts. They're 1/4 inch thick, and they're gonna cut them down to 9 feet 11 inches. I'll be picking them up tomorrow afternoon, and then my neighbor said that he'll be able to start welding the Simpson caps on. So before not too long, we'll be able to get the glulam beam in place and get this thing poured. So maybe, hopefully, cross my fingers, we'll have a roof on by January 1st. So anyways, thanks for watching.